Hey everybody, it's Marty and welcome to Two Line Speedway. I know a lot of you follow my channel for lots of other reasons and this might not interest you. I'm still trying to figure out what this channel is supposed to be, but I have a new hobby. I've gotten into slot car racing, and for the last couple months I've been building a track in my basement. Started with a starter kit, added some track, added a few cars, and been racing with my brother and my buddy John Mark, and we're having a blast. One of my favorite Christmases as a kid, I was probably 10 years old and I received a Tyco TCR Total Control Racing. It was a slot car track, basically. And it was HO scale, and it was my all-time favorite Christmas present. And for years, I've wanted to build a large scale track, but I've just never had the space. And so last year, my wife and I moved into a new old home, and it has a very large attic and has a very large basement. And I also have a podcast, and so I've got my podcast studio downstairs, and I built this track, Two Line Speedway. As you can see, what we've got going on, got a lot of different radius turns, a few longer straightaways. It's about 80 feet. The table is 8 foot by 20 feet. So I still have room for some more track, a little tighter course, I guess. We could add probably about 30 more feet, I think, on this, and have a really nice layout. But we're really enjoying this present layout. It's fast, but it has some technical pieces that you really have to drive, a couple hairpins, and which makes it fun. So, but I've been watching a lot of other channels, and I feel like as a new person in this hobby, there's a lot of great videos for the intermediate hobbyist and the high-end hobbyist, and there are some channels that have some really great videos for newbies, but I really feel like maybe that's something I could bring to the space. I don't really want to compete with anybody out there. There's a lot of great channels putting out a lot of great content, and I want to add to that. I think that from my perspective, I can really bring just like my experience as being a new person in the hobby. So what does it take to design a layout? How did I design my layout? Where did I get the ideas? What other channels am I watching to get great content from? There's a lot of people that are doing car reviews, and I'm honestly, I love car reviews because the last thing I want to do is waste my money and buy a car that doesn't perform well. And I know you can always tune them and make them perform well, but it's really great to see other people talk about what cars they enjoy and how they tune their cars and how they get the most out of them, and how not to waste your money. And so I think that I can bring that, my own flavor of that to YouTube in the slot car community. So some of the channels I'm watching right now is I watch Dave Kennedy's channel. It's fantastic. I really enjoy the fact that somebody cares enough about the hobby to share what kind of news is out there. Because we all want to be informed, like when new cars come to market and what other slot car companies are doing. And the fact that Dave takes the time to share that news with everyone and is kind of the source for that, it's great. Like, that's not me. I'm not in the know. I know zero about slot cars right now. I'm just trying to learn, but I'm learning a lot from Dave's videos. I watch Massimo and MP Slot Car Space. His channel is great. He's doing great reviews right now, like putting two cars versus each other and how they perform. And again, like I said, I don't want to waste my money, so I'm looking at those cars, and I'm just making a decision based on some of the output that he has, right? So he's giving us lap times, how it performs on his track, those kind of things. Great content. I really appreciate it. Another reviewer out there is Trav from that slot car guy. He's from Australia. Has a great channel. He has a gigantic layout. I do not know how big his table is. It's probably 30 or 40 feet maybe. It's a great big layout. I really enjoy watching his reviews because his track layout is similar to mine. I really liked his when I was designing mine. Mine's just a smaller version of it because it was fast. I felt like his layout was fast. It really felt more like maybe a wood routed track layout than most of the digital Carrera layouts out there are. Another great channel, great reviews. He buys a lot of slot cars and is reviewing a lot of them. His collection is big, and I own 3 cars, 2 that came with my kit or my set, and I purchased one off the local hobby shop that was closing up their slot car. They were selling off all their stuff, and they put it all on eBay, and they've gotten out of slot cars. So the other thing I might think about is if I start a race club, the Two Lions Speedway, maybe I should consider a small slot car store here in my hometown in Chillicothe, just to have a selection. More than anything, I would love to have like a small selection of Carrera cars, because I think the first couple classes that I do on the track will be Carrera classes, like a Carrera GT or a DTM class. Carrera doesn't do a lot of like Class C or Group C or the vintage stuff. You know, they every once in a while they release the Porsche 917K, a version of that. But they don't really do a lot of Can-Am cars. I love those cars. Those are my favorites. I love the 60s and 70s slot cars. I think they're fantastic. I really enjoy that vintage stuff. So those would be the classes that I would want to race. But I think that it makes sense to stick with a Carrera class up front because they're going to come with a chip. I've got a digital track, all those things. So that's kind of my thought process. So it'd be nice to be able to maybe become a small Carrera dealer so that I can have some inventory. So when guys come or people come to race at the track, they could buy a car right on the spot inexpensively, get a little tuning help from the guys that are already racing, and jump into the club pretty easy, 50, 60 bucks, and they're in, right? And I think that is the key to the success of my club eventually, is to keep the cost low, keep it fun, don't have a lot of rules, but basically stick to brand classes, like a slotted Group C class or a vintage class, or do an NSR GT class, or whatever those brands, whatever class cars make sense in that, I guess, is where I'm going. I think it'd be fun to own different brands of cars, but I think starting off with Carrera, since it's a Carrera digital track, is the best place for me to be. And it might be, great to be a small slot car business, I guess, be a small business, so that can help grow the sport in my community. Because right now there's nobody doing this, but now I am. So I have a chance to make an impact and create a fun community right here in my hometown. So that's sort of what my channel is going to be about. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me go on and on about my ideas, and I'm just kind of throwing things out there, throwing things on the wall, see what sticks, see what doesn't, and move on. So again, if this is something you would be interested in and you want to hang out and check out how my layout changes, learn more about what I'm learning about this slot car hobby, hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Maybe I'll separate this channel from my other channel and just start a new channel, a slot car channel. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so that you get notified when I put out a new video. And then I think I'll try to take some footage of when we're having our practice sessions and we're having fun, because I think that it's fun to watch. I enjoy watching YouTube videos where people are doing some racing, so I can see how their cars perform, what I can expect. Maybe I can get my car tuned to perform like on the track. And I learn a lot from watching other people. The other thing I would like to learn is like, how does somebody manage a race night? Like, what does a race night, qualifying, heat races, B main, A main? What are other clubs out there doing? I'd really love to find out things like that. And I can't really find videos about that on YouTube. People are not covering, the Northern California, Joe Rose, his channel, he does a lot of, they do a garage racing series, which I think is awesome in California, that kind of bounce around from guys' garages who have built tracks. And they race on the weekends, and he usually reports about, who finished first, second, third, what classes were run, and talks about the tracks. And that coverage is great. He also does a nice job of doing reviewing of cars and helping people learn how to tune cars. I think it's great. And then there's some other channels, Home Racing. I apologize, I don't remember his name. I've watched a lot of his videos because he has 2 different tracks in his basement, it looks like to me. And he does some hard-bodied builds, building their own chassis. I would love to get into that. I think that would be so much fun. But then he does a lot of reviews of cars that I really enjoy. I love the old Can-Am stuff. I love the GT40s. And he does a lot of reviews on cars like that. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to me babble on. And again, Two Line Speedway, check it out. Thanks.